Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy review. And this time we're taking a look at the Star Wars Rogue One K-2SO figure. And this is from the Rogue One toy line from Hasbro from 2016. So the first thing we're going to do is take a close look at the packaging. So take a look at the packaging, pretty standard Rogue One packaging, also extremely similar to the Force Awakens packaging, but you know, it says Star Wars Rogue One with a nice Death Trooper as their main logo. If you buy a figure from this Rogue One toy line that's not in the Rogue One movie, they have some stuff from Rebels, they also have Kylo Ren, it'll just not have that Rogue One written there. But it's got a nice picture of K-2SO, you can see the droid right there, and then also it has a little picture of the app that it gets explained on the back and how that works, where you can actually download something to your smartphone, record your basically your playtime with your toys, and then add in special effects. And it also shows that he has a zipline attachment, like a little gun. You switch onto the back, pretty bland packaging on the back. It's just got stuff that shows you about the app. It actually has a little picture of K-2SO and kind of explains a little backstory of him. And it says StarWars.com, StarWars/Hasbro.com. But pretty standard packaging. Let's get this guy opened up. So getting K-2SO out of the package, really impressed with this figure. First off, I mean, starting off with the detailing is absolutely phenomenal in this guy. Down to the way the plastic's molded, he looks like he's definitely been around the block. He's definitely been, he's seen some action. Even down to like his Imperial logos on his shoulders, they're actually painted on to look weathered and damaged. That's how they are. I mean, if you were to first look at them inside the packaging, you'd think that maybe something's wrong. They're actually designed that way. Down to the weathering and the painting of the joints on the knees and on his knuckles. They definitely do a great job to showing that he's an older droid and he's been around the block. He's also really tall and really nimble, and you can see on the back there's even more weathering on his legs, which I'll zoom in. He's got two little antennas there. But I mean, where this figure really shines is, first off, he doesn't have a lot of articulation. That's kind of the way that this toy line is. But what they did with the articulation is really good, and I wish they did this with more figures. So he has 6 points of articulation. He has his arms can move. They move forward and back. You really wish there was a joint here because it looks like there should be, but there's not. And then same thing, his other arm moves. His head turns on a ball joint, and then also the neck moves. He's got like a neck joint, like a ball joint. So his head really moves. You can get a lot of motion. And, when playing, you can probably get like lots of ranges of motion from this guy just by the way you make him stand. And then the other thing is his legs are actually on a ball joint. So I mean, gives incredible motion on his legs. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I mean, and so it's real easy to get him to stand. At first, when you touch him, it looks like you might have trouble, but I mean, you can really pivot him. So even on like a unlevel surface, you're really able to get him to stand really, really easily. And here you can see him closer up in his face. I mean, his face looks really good, nice, with nice eyes. And like I said, that ball joint up here and then also down in his neck. I mean, he can look down. He can do all kinds of stuff with his head, which is really cool. And here you can see the Imperial logos, how they're weathered. I mean, absolutely top notch with this guy. I mean, even there's like, looks like scratches like this toy's been played with, and that's just the way he's been molded. I mean, they did a great job with this guy. And here you can see his antennas on the back. You know, really, really nice looking figure. And here you can see how they painted just the elbow joint. I mean, they definitely made it look weathered. I mean, the lights kind of make it look a little weird, but also you can see his waistline midriff. Unfortunately, there's no articulation there, but you can definitely see the detail that goes in there. And then there's that ball joint that's just fantastic, gives a fantastic range of motion on both his legs. I mean, he really has really good motion for a figure with only 6 points of articulation. And there's his knee joint, so you can see it's got that weathered paint metal look. I mean, they did a great job with this figure. I mean, they could have just made him black and just left it like that, but they went the extra mile and they did like brush painting on him to make him look really, really weathered and damaged looking. Now, K-2SO also comes with a grappling hook accessory. A lot of the figures in this toy line have like missile launchers. This doesn't launch, but this is, more of a practical weapon. You just slide his hand onto it, and then there's a little clip here that you just clip onto his arm. And it stays on there pretty good compared to some of the other stuff. But I mean, it's got it's a grappling hook, so you just pull it, and it's got tension when you let go, so it just slides back in. So you can actually, if you were to grab it onto something and let go of the figure and hold this, he would slide across and zip across it. Finally, for size comparison, here we have K-2SO next to the Rogue One Darth Vader and the Rogue One Jyn Erso. And you can see that he absolutely towers over these other figures. Now, he's really thin and nimble, but they did a great job with this figure, like I said, with all the motion in his hips to make him stand easy. I mean, it's very easy to get him to stand, even on like a weird, uneven surface. I mean, I'm not really sure how he's going to be in the movie, if he's going to stand up really tall or if they're going to have his head a little lower like this. But I mean, doesn't really matter because he's still the biggest figure in this series by far. I mean, you can see Darth Vader is probably the biggest one that I've run into so far, and K-2SO is absolutely a monster. But I absolutely love this figure. I love the accessory it comes with. It's actually something practical. A lot of kids could play with. It doesn't, have a missile that doesn't always work all the time. And this is something that kids could play with a lot, and it's really cool. And he's also a really, really neat figure. He looks great. Like I said, he's got 6 points of articulation, which is one more than most of the figures in this toy line. Some of them do have 6, but I mean, he's got that extra ball joint on his neck and his head, so he's got an incredible range of motion on his head, so you can get a whole bunch of different positions, and it makes him look like he's actually got some personality to him, and you can actually pose him like that, which I really like. And he's detailed extremely well. They could have just made him just black, but they did a great job with like brushing with metal and silver to make him look like he's damaged, and it's just an overall top-notch figure in this series. But once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. If you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I will see you guys next time.